Tuning in to the online broadcast network, AFTERBUZZ TV. Over 20 million weekly downloads in over 150 countries, and your number one source for after-show entertainment. AFTERBUZZ TV, the destination for TV superfans, producing after shows for over 300 of your favorite TV shows, interviewing celebrities and showrunners, and bringing you behind-the-scenes exclusives. All thanks to E! Entertainment's Maria Menounos, producer Kevin Undergaro, and internet leader Kaufmann. Now, let the buzz begin!
Yes. Oh yeah. Welcome to AFTERBUZZ TV Main Event. I am Tom Connolly, and I'm sitting here with three new people on the panel tonight. Scott is MIA across the country. Oh yeah.
Wait a minute. Oh, say old school.
Nice.
Awesome.
Nice.
Out of left field. Out of nowhere.
I think they're taking you one place, they take you completely somewhere else.
So,
oh wow.
Sitting with me, sitting next to me, Mark Donick. How you doing,
Tom
Mark?
It's wonderful to be here. I've done the gamut of wrestling shows except for Main Event, and I'm super
done them all. You are a Grand Slam host now?
Feels good. Yeah. No, everything but Total Divas.
Oh, okay. Oh, then okay. That's you're not a Grand Slam champion yet.
The light heavyweight championship of the Grand Slam championships.
And sitting across from me, Steve Kaufmann. How you doing, Steve?
Doing great. I am NXT and Raw away from a Grand Slam championship.
Nice. We'd love to have you on NXT.
Then I would love to drop by one day.
Excellent.
Yes. And sitting next to him, George Hermoza. How you doing, George?
My first WWE show ever.
Nice.
Welcome to the fold.
Yes. Awesome.
What's I heard about NXT though?
Same thing.
Yes.
If we got
yes.
nothing to say.
We're in, bro.
Yes. No, we have a lot of fun at NXT.
All right. That's all I was here for.
All right. See you.
All right, night, guys. So the show
He just wanted the invite to the other show. He's like, I don't care about Main Event.
I got another AFTERBUZZ right now.
Come on, Nashville.
What's in B?
Good guess.
So, guys, the show starts off tonight with a game show, which we haven't seen on Main Event ever. We have JBL, who does the longest monologue
JBL.
ever.
Can they just give JBL a live microphone and nothing else and call that a segment?
Yeah, it was really funny. So it was Goldust and Stardust versus the Usos in a, match game kind of game.
Like newly bro game.
Yeah, basically, yeah. What they called it?
How well do you know your bro?
Exactly. So the first round was, if your brother was not a WWE superstar, what would he be? Well, first off, JBL couldn't tell if it was Jay or
I just like that he kept referring to all right, Jimmy or Jay or Jay or Jimmy.
I like that Jay was like, I'm Jay. At least just clear it up. Like, let us know. Like, don't say, oh, I don't know who it is. Just let us know who it is.
Do you think Naomi ever thinks about that?
I don't know. I think she could tell apart. But
I don't know.
Let's hope so.
Yeah.
One of them has a little bit less arm tattoo than the other, so unless they're wearing long sleeves, you should
That'd be really weird. Really weird. But Jay guessed that, or Jimmy guessed that Jay would be a football player. He was correct.
You did it.
Yes. And I wrote it down who said it. And then Stardust said...
No.
Yeah.
Stardust.
He said that Goldust would be Stardust.
And you go, okay, that's a really good answer, but it wasn't just Stardust, it was a drawing of Stardust. Just,
I wonder who did that.
Somebody wonderful.
Yeah. I hope they sell that or something.
You mean the printer in the back?
No, that was a marker drawing.
Was that a marker drawing?
Yeah, dude.
It was a really good drawing. Tied after round one, we go to round two. They say, who is your brother's biggest influence in your life? They say Rikishi, their dad. They're correct, and they start dancing. JBL just starts dancing along with them.
Anytime JBL does that little shuffle that he does, he did it like a few weeks ago when Teddy Long came out. I was like, yes. I love when he does a little shuffle.
I need a GIF of that shuffle. Internet, can you get me a GIF?
He should just do that every show. I know we don't see their entrances when they come out on Raw, but we should see that each week of JBL coming out just doing that dance.
That's a live show thing. You got to pay for that.
I guess so.
Yeah. Every once in a while you get a little taste, but you got to go live to see that shuffle.
But you got to just pay $9.99 to get the network. Then you can see it as much as you want.
As like in between shows.
How long until house shows are just broadcast live on the WWE Network?
That's something that I'm hoping that they've been doing for a while, but then that takes away the value of seeing it live.
Yeah.
So maybe.
And it's also cost of money to
it's
broadcast live.
So 8 months. To answer your question,
8 months and maybe like 10 more advertisers on there, and then maybe we'll be in business.
You have to charge the extra penny. To get it, you have to charge the extra penny. It's $10.
Damn it! Screws the whole marketing plan up.
So Goldust says, he says JBL just dropped it like it was hot. Thought it was pretty funny. And then Stardust just continues to hiss at JBL, and he's like, "You're not a calico cat." He's like, "Stop hissing at me." And so Goldust's answer is yo. Of who influences him, and I'm like, what is he? And of course he holds up the sign and it says yo on it, and JBL's like, who is yo? And Goldust is like, yo mama. And this was a crazy segment to have on Main Event. All over the place.
As much fun as the Dust Brothers are, and as the Usos are, and as JBL is, whoever wrote this segment barely did any of them any justice.
I don't know. I think they maybe have come up with everything by themselves.
I feel whoever wrote this segment wrote the answers that were on the cards and went, JBL lead.
Yeah.
Just go with it, guys. JBL's really funny. He's gonna call you the son of a polka dotted plumber. Just go with that. Don't be offended.
Just hiss at him a lot.
Hiss back.
And I thought it was funny that the Usos were trying to cover up that they were laughing when he said that. Like they were like trying not to be like, okay, we have to go against these guys, but that was actually pretty funny.
There was one part where we even could tell Goldust got up and started dancing when he was playing.
So then, still tied. Now we go to round 3.
Password.
The Usos get the word nasty. It comes down to what JBL's mama is. They get it correct. The Dust Brothers get milkshake, and Cody Stardust just goes off and saying all these random, facts about planets and all this kind of stuff. He does say it brings all the boys to the yard,
which would be a dead giveaway for me.
Yeah.
If you ever want me to say milkshake,
to be honest, though,
it brings all the boys to the yard. Milkshake.
This is Dustin we're talking about.
Yeah.
A little bit of an older gentleman.
Yeah.
And then he said Uranus, and he was like, "No, the planet." And Stardust was just shocked and couldn't say anything else.
He said Uranus. See, now that's the bit, and the first guessing where it was a picture of Stardust as opposed to just the word. The whole Yo Mama thing, that's not them. That would be more of an Uso joke. But this was their naming all of the planetary things.
Yep.
That's them.
Yeah.
But there's just so much of this segment that was like. There are so many better ways that you can build up to this match other than this. This is the first week that you're building. This isn't the go home segment for the match on Sunday.
But
that's not the pre-show, is it?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it is.
I thought Miz and Cesaro is the pre-show.
No.
It's a tag team.
It's the tag team, and then they're doing a Miz TV.
Oh,
I think the pre-show has now been. Last pay-per-view was an hour. It was 4 to 5.
What?
So, whatever. If you're on the West Coast, 4 to 5. But so it's been an hour. It was. So I think they're just doing that.
They're just doing 2 segments in the pre-show.
I think also if they do a match, then the match isn't so rushed. They could actually have time to do it. But I'm not sure.
It's their channel.
Yeah. They can do what they want. So the Dust Brothers lose, and then Cody or Stardust. I always say Cody. Stardust goes to attack.
They're so separate.
He goes to attack Jimmy. And Jimmy kicks him, hits a super kick in the face. They attack Goldust, knock him out of the ring. The Usos, celebrate winning this. Who knows your bro best?
They celebrate blindsidedly attacking.
Two
innocent people.
They do the heel move.
Supposedly heels.
They won and still beat the guys up.
As if the crowd wasn't confused enough. Now it's just like, but I thought they were the guys.
It's all good. There was a Jonathan Coachman reference.
There was. I did pop
to bring it back around. I'm surprised there wasn't a Sports Center chant.
Yeah.
Or like for those of us. Like for those of us who are watching Sports Center at 3 a.m., it's where Jonathan Coachman is.
Is he only on at 3 a.m.?
Yes.
Is that what it did at the Sports Center reference?
Yeah, that's kind of what did it.
Sports. Men in face paint. Sports. Warrior.
Yeah, everyone in the ring except for JBL.
Power of the warrior.
Yeah, everyone had face paint on this week except for JBL in the ring. He should have had some on.
JBL should have just did a little.
He did. He has so much makeup cake now. He does face paint.
So guys, let's get Mark. What did you think? What would you give a rating of this segment?
bored out of 5. Not even a. I would okay. Honestly, a 2 because for the 2 actual dust jokes that worked with their gimmick. The Jimmy and Jay thing is like, oh, they know each other because they're twins. That's not anything new. Like, the only thing that really worked was we got to see more of Goldust and Stardust. So 2 out of 5.
George, what do you think?
I'm gonna go out on a limb. I will call it a 5.
Nice.
Because it was such. It was one of those things where I was like watching a train wreck happen and just hearing Michael Cole, typical Michael Cole, somebody please end this. I hope this is the first and the last time. I'm like, no, keep it going because I want to see a lot of ad libs you can clearly see, and I like that part when it comes to wrestling, where it's like, screw it, just screw the script. Let's just go with it. Who cares? I like that.
No, and I agree with you. And I think if Michael Cole was actually in, as opposed to like, oh, make it in. Like if he was actually paying attention, and was actually calling or just quiet the whole time, that we probably could have gotten into this a little bit more. But with his suggestions of make it stop, this is terrible, this is awful, then that tells us, oh yeah, this is terrible, this is awful.
Which is
if Michael Cole's burying it.
What?
I mean,
but
I'm sorry you had to pay $9.99 for this.
I mean,
that really annoys me though.
It can never be on Raw though. Like if this segment was on Raw, but the fact that it was on a main event, it's like, well, you can go certain things because probably Vince not even watching, you know. So
it's a little more fun with it.
Yeah, so that's why I like that because it was kind of like all over the place, but still, it was more themselves. You know?
Gotcha.
and I think you're underestimating how much Vince is watching. Vince is watching us right now.
Yeah. Hi, Vince.
And he doesn't even know what the internet is.
He's gonna.
He thinks
Guest 1305 in the chat roll says, "How did they know?"
Steve, what did you think of this?
I give it 2 stars out of 5.
Gotcha.
And I really think it's 1 star out of 5, but I'm giving it a 2nd star just so they try.
Just like
Because there were 2 stars. No. Because they're trying something more than just being a recap and that show. That they're trying a segment in the ring that isn't. So I appreciate that, but it missed the mark with me.
Gotcha.
So they get a whole additional. They get 100% more stars.
Is it that you tried star?
Yeah, it's
in the lowercase Comic Sans.
It's like when somebody gets an F and you give them a D. It's like, whatever.
Well, I don't want them back in my class, so I'll give them a D.
Yeah, I mean, I gave it a 3 out of 5. I thought it was the funny parts were good. I enjoyed that. But yeah, I do agree with you. This is week 1 of this feud, not right before the pay-per-view. And I didn't understand the whole why the Usos got the upper hand in this whole thing at the very end. Like, it would have just made more sense if they would have just beat them down and been like, well, it doesn't matter, we have the belt, so
And it gives
you can know each other all you want, but we have the gold.
More
Like,
heat on the Dust Brothers as opposed to like, the Uso brothers attacked innocent people.
That was, in fact, a segment.
Yeah.
That's how I felt. Where I was like,
and Michael Cole like putting it down, like, I don't understand how they put a product on TV and then you have someone go, this is so dumb, this is so stupid, why are we doing this? When you're like, well, but you're here, you're a part of this
you
too.
doing this?
Yeah, exactly.
It kind of reminded me of, remember when NXT first started, when it was on Sci-Fi?
The women's NXT.
No,
when it was the rookies
yes,
too.
yeah,
like
yeah.
the first, second, third season where it's kind of like you had all these random competitions, and of course Michael Cole putting it down. But again, it goes back to
Anytime Michael Cole was on there,
yeah, but then Stryker was there too, and he would always try to ad lib as well, and it kind of reminded me of that too, where it's just kind of like, let's just try something.
Yeah, but to me, it's like you're selling this product to me, and you like, I don't know. You telling me it's stupid makes me just go, then I don't want to watch it. Then why am I paying you $10?
Michael Cole in the middle. I brought up the women's NXT specifically because there was a segment where Michael Cole was on commentary while he was doing his heel run, and he had a sign, a piece of paper that he held up on camera that said "Stop the Pain."
yeah.
Now that's the closest thing to like. Will you actually just pay attention to your product and try to make me interested in it as opposed to like, well,
I mean, JR would have never done that. He would have been.
Yeah,
a lot of people wouldn't have done that. Mike Tenay wouldn't have done that.
I think just Michael Cole is the guy who does that.
And I mean, I think I don't know. A lot of people don't like Michael Cole.
I like Michael Cole.
I don't mind him. Like, he's okay. And I think when when he's not being that like heel, which he shouldn't be the heel. He's just the color commentator.
He really hasn't been that heel since Jerry Lawler.
Yeah, they did it on purpose. Like, we can't do that. We need to actually.
He can't. That person who was sincere about a colleague almost dying can't ever be a heel ever again.
Nope.
No. But yeah, I mean, I think it's and most of the time, at least on Main Event, Byron is the heel commentator.
Yes, that's something I was going to mention here. Is a lot of the times we say on NXT, their commentary makes every single match seem so important, despite it being essentially the rookie league. And when you listen to Raw, it's like you should get the network and promoting Diet Mountain Dew and all this stuff.
Which, if we're praising Michael Cole, that's what Michael Cole is amazing at.
Oh, he's a good salesman.
He's amazing, but like as someone who does talk, I don't understand how he's able to just. I'm going to talk about the match that's happening live and then find the right moments to talk about the match while it's happening live without distracting you from the fact that there is a match, and you should get Diet Mountain Dew and pay $9.99 a month for the WWE Network
and talk about other segments.
Yeah,
because Hell in a Cell is next month.
But that's talent, though.
And Dean Ambrose.
And he's getting someone talking to his ear like this over top of him at the same time. You're like, what are you doing?
No, he's a professional.
Yeah.
Kudos
See
to
how
him.
you guys said something and I stopped? Michael Cole doesn't do that.
He's got Vince going, what are you doing? Don't say that. No, talk about this. Like, I don't know. He is...
What's an Instagram?
So, guys, all right. So that wraps up the first segment. Let's get to the first match of the night. We get R-Truth versus Tyson Kidd. This is a rematch from last week. R-Truth beat Tyson Kidd. Basically, on a distraction, he almost threw Tyson into Natty last week. And then when he turned around, Truth hit the little Jimmy for the win. So this match, Tyson wanted his revenge. He was, off to a good start with the offense. Truth got outside of the ring, was like flirting with Natty to get back in control of the match. And then towards the end of the match, Tyson did just jumped over him as Truth came into the corner, and fell to the ground like he tweaked his knee.
The old fake injury trick.
And as the ref was checking on him, Truth came over. He took Truth and went to throw him almost into Natty again, but he stopped himself. When he turned around, Tyson hit the swinging fisherman suplex. Is there a name for that?
There's not a name for that yet.
That's exactly what I put in my notes.
Wikipedia does not have a name, therefore.
It should be called like the fact checker or the fact check, because that's his gimmick now. Is he says something and he goes fact, and then everybody chats it back.
That's a good name for a move. You hear that, Triple H or Vince? You watching?
Because Vince is watching.
You guys gotta watch NXT. I have tons of great ideas. Everybody's like, that's really good. It's like, I can move to Florida. That's fine.
There's a PO box you can send him a check.
Please.
If you don't want to handle.
We know some folks down
You're going to be the first AfterBuzz host that works down there.
Hi, Ryan. We miss you.
So missed that context.
Yeah. So Tyson gets the win.
Get me a check.
Natty was kind of in on the distraction. They were both kind of happy on the outside of the ring that he won this way, which normally Natty's been very kind of hard on him of saying you can't cheat the win, like just kind of being more disapproving of when he does try to cheat. So Tyson got the win. I was glad he got the win, and him and Natty look like a nice loving couple that aren't
getting a divorce.
Yeah, or whatever. Yeah, when you see the Total Divas preview
Not
for the
that
week.
I watch Total Divas religiously.
There are so many different stories that they're telling with Natty and Tyson. They're telling them on Total Divas. It was weird. Byron and Cole on commentary, and from the way that the match was being run and all of the history that Tyson's had on Main Event, is he's not. Like, Natty's the one that's not, like, together with Tyson, whereas Tyson's the one who's really trying to win. He does some dirty stuff to win sometimes.
Yeah.
But on NXT, he puts her in harm's way a lot. It's three different stories that are being told, and they all make me kind of want to watch Total Divas. Like, that's the thing. But I found Michael Cole's commentary, based on the story that was being told in the ring, really not accurate. I found Saxton, who's supposed to be the heel guy, totally like, no, Saxton's right. They're not doing anything. There's nothing wrong with that. What's Truth doing out there picking up on his wife? That's so
and really, just what's Truth doing out there? He's had the same shtick for like 8 years.
But then people still chant religiously for it. That's the thing. Everybody still loves him.
If you go back and watch last week's episode, when he comes down and does his rapping, he gets in the ring, he does the "What's up." It's like the biggest pop I feel like I've heard him get in so long. I was like, wow. I was really surprised by it. This week, we didn't really see him doing the rap. So, but I don't know, Mark, what would you give a rating of this match?
Honestly, 4.
4.
4 out of 5.
Nice.
I really enjoyed this match, and I've been seeing a lot of Tyson on NXT, so getting him back on the main-ish roster, no offense, is great to see because he deserves it.
Anybody who sees like NXT on a regular basis knows that Tyson Kidd is impossible to have a bad match.
Very much so.
Whether it's with R-Truth or whoever, especially when he faces like Sami Zayn and whatnot. But yeah, I mean, I give this match a 3.8. I love that finishing move that he does. He does it so crisp. That guy's just good. Like everybody who's anybody, like I respect the opinion of like a wrestler more than anyone else, and they're the ones saying, dude, that guy needs to be on the roster on a regular basis. Like that guy needs to be on Raw. You know, I was happy when he got that the NXT tag match on Raw.
Yeah, no,
that was awesome.
that even more so was like, look at what you're missing. This is a guy that used to be here, and why is he down at NXT?
Exactly.
Tune in to find out.
Yeah.
9.99.
Also, they had a poll the next day of who are you most excited to see on the tag match on Raw of the NXT superstars, and Tyson Kidd was not even on the poll. I was like, what?
Because technically he's not.
Obviously, Total
an
Divas
NXT
fans are voting. So
the Total
Obviously.
Divas fans would stack the deck. I'd give this match 4 out of 5.
Gotcha.
And you want to know how it would get 5?
How?
If Tyson Kidd went back to the old hairstyle, just the blonde up front and then just followed everywhere. It's a scary looking hairstyle. It strikes the fear into the heart of your opponents.
More confusion.
Yeah. I gave it a 3.0. I thought it was a good match. I like Tyson getting the win. I feel like we have sometimes, especially on Main Event, we have like sometimes we have matches where you're like, why did that guy even win? Like that means it doesn't benefit the storyline. And I like the whole. I feel like Natty's going to turn, and I would like to see them as like a heel couple because we don't have any other heel couples.
Well, not anymore.
Yeah, really.
Like the Fandango thing was over with in a hot minute.
Where's he been? Jeez.
Seriously.
Ever since Santino left, that whole thing, and then kind of Adam Rose, and then
Yeah. So
poor Adam Rose.
yeah, but
Seriously.
I feel like it's leading towards Natty turning and slowly. I keep it going slow, and then maybe he gets a title shot or something, and then she tries to help him win, and then that's when the full turn
I
happens.
hope so. I mean, if you really think about it, her character has kind of been the same for like years and years. I mean, really, what else is there to do?
she's
Well,
Anvil's
Has she ever
daughter.
been a heel?
Except for that time where she
like when
would
she
fart.
first started, I
Oh
think.
yeah, when there was the Hart Dynasty, that was really it. But then
And
when they
she was,
repackaged
when she was
everything.
Beth Phoenix as too.
Oh,
Yeah, I
that's
can't talk
right,
apparently.
Where is
I want to say the
Phoenix as
Glamazon or
Retired.
Glamarella.
Is she retired?
Yeah, she's
Yeah.
retired.
She just had Edge's baby.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're together.
Where I've been on all of these.
Dude,
You're not on Instagram. Come on.
I thought I'm up to date on the rags.
So then we get the Bray Wyatt promo that we've been seeing on
Oh,
Raw.
yes.
The it's coming. What is? I don't know what's coming. It's
Haven't you heard the news?
no.
Possibly the Ascension from NXT.
Really?
And then what also was a popular opinion is they come up, Bray can't control them, so the Wyatt family comes back, and it's the Wyatt family versus the Ascension, which everybody's been wanting to see for like a year.
Yeah.
And then
You do have a lot of good ideas.
and then the boys go this. Yeah, no, you're right. You're absolutely right.
Is there a girl in the chat we can Skype in to stop this song from happening?
I don't think so. I don't know.
But
Is
yeah,
there anybody in there?
That's the
we don't
going
have to pay
rumor
money
right
on?
now.
Oh,
That's
okay.
the going rumor right now is that it's going to be the Ascension.
Because I don't
Wow.
think that Ascension needs Bray Wyatt.
They don't,
No,
which is
yeah.
why they don't need him. They're
But
going to
that
come
would
up
be-
and not need him.
But that would be a proper
So the
stepping.
Wyatts turn face?
Yeah, I mean,
All of them?
not necessarily ambiguous. They're always ambiguous. They get cheered for, and then they do something that people don't like, but they still get cheered. Like that's the weird thing is no matter what they do,
And
they're gonna push it.
And I just love the strength of Bray Wyatt's character that we've all seen in this promo. He's done this promo a lot. We've seen this promo for years. We're all still excited.
Yeah.
He's like, what's coming?
And it's the
Bray Wyatt says it's coming. It must be awesome.
and it's also the best way to send off Rowan and Harper. You don't do the old like they fight and then
Yeah.
it's like no, get away from
Exactly.
me. It's like no, you're done. You can go now.
Pretty much.
Let's
But
divide and conquer.
Do you think they're going to bring in a woman in?
I was thinking maybe something
I
like that,
I saw
too.
like a female hand come in or something.
Well, that's supposed to be Sister Abigail,
Abigail.
See, I-
but
yeah.
I think it's still way too early to bring her in, and I don't know who they could use.
Yeah.
They would have to call somebody up you've never
But
heard of. Like,
exactly that you've never heard of, but they can't risk that anymore.
everybody down in NXT has a good, like all the women down in NXT already have a good thing going.
But
But if you
couldn't she-
called them up from NXT to be Sister Abigail, you'd be like, what?
No. But you know, when he first became Bray Wyatt, there was like a promo or something where he did an interview where they were like, "What happened to what was he before? Husky Harris."
Husky Harris.
And he was like, Husky Harris is still alive. I've just taken his form, or something like that, or I don't know. He said something really cool, where it's like, you know, they could just be like, well, Sister Abigail, she, you know, is taking over
I don't
this person.
want, but I don't want anybody to take, like, you've got Bailey, Becky Lynch, Sasha Banks, Charlotte, Carmella now, and
it had to be somebody new.
Yeah, when those people make it to the main roster, I want them to be those people.
Yeah, exactly. So it's got to be somebody we haven't seen before.
Exactly,
We'll
but they would have to be ready, but they wouldn't have to be on NXT. Really complicated.
It's Gail Kim is what we're saying. Gail Kim
or Del Rey. Sarah Del Rey. I like that because she's ready.
Yeah, and then we saw on SmackDown this week Cesaro versus Ziggler for an IC title match. Should be a really good match.
Yes.
And then so let's get to the next match: Big E versus Bo Dallas. Bo Dallas comes out and says, "I beat Mark Henry 3 times. That makes me the world's strongest man." All I have to do is believe.
I love him so much.
Big E is. He's the king of like the belly to belly suplexes anymore. All he does is, you know, over the head, you know, side belly suplexes, and then at the end, Bo Dallas ends up hitting the clothesline, gets a sleeper hold on him. Big E takes control back of the match, hits another belly to belly, and he goes for his splash. And as he's running back, Bo Dallas gets up, takes out his knee, which I thought that was it looked devastating.
Yeah, it's really gross.
And as he, you know, which I'll get to it when I critique the match. But
yes.
So he goes for the Bulldog, and as he, you know, grabs Big E reverses it, lifts him back up into the big ending to get the win. What'd you think of it?
Super quick ending. I would give this a 3.5. Very, very good match. There was nothing technically wrong with it. They could have done so much more and I sound like a broken record, and I know it's the show I do, but if they tapped into their NXT history, it's there. You can go watch it. You're on the network. That gets people to click to the other show. Like, that seems so like an easy carryover thing. They had a really big history because Bo beat Big E for the NXT Championship. So you can. Even if you're watching Main Event for the first time, you're watching WWE for the first time, Stan Lee has a thing with his comics where it's like, imagine every comic book is their first issue that they're ever reading. So if you tell these people, these guys have a years-long rivalry that they've hated each other's for years because, or, you know, to that extent, because of everything that happened at NXT, and they were essentially the same characters. Then that gets you carryover clicks that makes everybody go, oh, well, I wonder how this is going to happen. If they fought before, they must know each other really, and it makes it that much more interesting.
I mean, that's how I was when I was a kid. You know, growing up watching wrestling, it was like, what? What do you mean they had a history back in with Hogan Piper? I was like, what? They wrestled in '85 and '86. Man, now I got to go see this war to settle the score and whatnot. So yeah, I mean,
but back then you had to find some creepy dude's address on the back of an magazine.
I did it. But now it's like,
and they'll send you a tape.
You would think that with everything that they have now, it's a lot easier to do that now. Why don't they do it?
Yeah,
you think. I don't know, it's one of those where like you know, it makes you just bang your head against the wall. You're like, you have all of this stuff that you want us to use, and yet you don't use it yourself.
Like, I think they talk about the histories of like these long-running superstars, but even these new ones have years of experience, and you have it on tape. Tell people.
Right now, I'd like to pitch a playlist show to the WWE Network. Every week, I will sit right here, and I'll just talk about 5 matches, and then just like YouTube, say, click right here, watch that match. I'm going to talk about it for 30 seconds. We're going to move on.
Don't knock over your drink.
I'm going to knock over drinks.
George, what did you give a rating of this match?
I thought it was a good match. I give it like a 2.7. I mean, not too bad, not too great. I mean, again, I've seen better from each guy. I wish Big E Langston kind of, and it's not his fault. Again, why don't we this? Why don't we that? That guy's got so much personality. We've seen it on NXT. Even when he was with Ziggler back in the day, when anytime he got on the microphone, the guy got so much personality. Let him beat him. Stop relegating to him to just being a big guy that just, like you said, suplex. I immediately thought Scott Steiner. Don't let him become the next Scott Steiner.
God, he has much better promo skills than Steiner.
He can speak.
That's another guy who I'd say train wreck, but I just couldn't stop watching Steiner promos.
It's like Jerry Springer.
When was the last time we heard Big E speak, though?
Exactly, but
on the app, they've got a theater thing. Like I was going to say, they should let the the Xavier Woods, Kofi Kingston, and Big E thing, they're testing it on a small scale where nobody can see it unless you like follow them on Twitter. So if you let that show, like it's app exclusive stuff, but nobody, like especially for us when we were trying to watch the show, we can't do it live because we're watching an East Coast feed and you can't access it on the West Coast. So it's like you have to make this stuff accessible, put it on the YouTube channel, put it on the network. Like they're doing really good stuff. Nobody's seeing it though.
Kind of reminds me of like the Dirt Sheet, because I hated the Miz. Hated
the Dirt Sheet.
But in the Dirt Sheet, I'm like, oh my god, this is awesome.
The Dirt Sheet was the reason those two people, that tag team was on the level of a D-Generation X and got to face D-Generation X. Like, that's why. The Dirt Sheet was the reason they got anywhere.
They got extra time to talk bad about people.
Yeah.
So what did you give a rating?
I gave
Steve?
that match a 4 out of 5. It was a great match.
Gotcha.
He was shades. Big E Langston had shades of Taz, and I refuse to call him Big E. He's Big E Langston. We are not.
I wrote down Big E Langston.
Yeah, us wrestling fans are not simple folk. We can
And
handle.
Antonio Cesaro.
Yes.
I don't know who you're talking about. That guy doesn't exist anymore.
Is he related to Cesaro?
Cousin.
His cousin. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I gave it a 2.75 just because it was a decent match. I don't really give him that high ratings.
But I also did like how Bo called himself America's sweetheart.
Yes.
Anytime he opens his mouth, the fact that he gets a chance to talk is like closer to what he was in NXT, and hopefully more people can see how great he was.
Yeah. The only thing I didn't like was when he took out his knee at the end. That was too devastating a move for.
They should have sold him more.
Yeah, for him to just get up and like, I liked him going for the Bulldog, but then he just threw him right back up into the big ending, and
Yeah,
it was like,
it was so quick. He should have like faltered with him, and then
yeah. At least I don't know, put a little more into it, or he should have done that earlier in the match. I don't know, something at least to work on it to try to at least knock Big E down to his size. But yeah, so I gave it 2.75. I was glad Big E got the win. It worked. It works for him. Then we go Raw recap. We'll go quickly through this, but it's Cena and Orton now a number 1 contender for Brock Lesnar. And then we saw the Cena Orton Heyman promo, a little bit of that. I thought the dropkick that Dean Ambrose did to Seth Rollins when Seth Rollins went flying back into the Hell in a Cell was awesome. And then we ends it off with the curb stomp from Rollins to Orton. So it's Orton seemed like he's turning face a little bit. It's a little bit going there. But do you guys like that it's number 1? Do you like that the loser of the Dean Ambrose Cena match is now a number 1 contenders match? But they're not saying number 1 contender. They're just saying
a future title opportunity.
Yes, which I don't understand.
I hate when that happens because that means they'll never get it. Crime Time. Everyone remember Crime Time?
Oh, of course.
They got a future title. They got a future title opportunity once. Never happened.
They still haven't.
They should come back.
Damian Sandow got a future title. Oh wait.
Yeah. Man, that was like a year ago too. Yeah. Man.
Also, somebody just said.
Hey, but he's doing good now, so I'm okay.
Hideo Itami, when he gets to the main roster, is going to have a shorter name as well.
Just Itami. Just Itami.
Just Itami.
His name means like something warrior, like kick-ass warrior or something, and to shorten that is just like, well, what's the point there?
What's the other guy? Is it Finn Balor?
Yeah.
Finn Balor. That one's cool because the Balor is a one-eyed god in
like Gaelic?
Germany?
In like Gaelic culture.
Yeah.
It's like this huge monster. It's like, oh, that's kind of cool, but you have to know that.
So what do you guys think, about that being the number 1 contenders match?
I mean, like he said, it's just kind of funny the loser of that match becomes and the winner.
Dean Ambrose, Seth Rollins, that's not for the briefcase, right?
No, but it should be now.
Yes.
Like, if we're in the go-home stage, I haven't read up on SmackDown, maybe that...
Nah.
Because I don't think typically...
Don't worry about it.
You're good, Steve. You got
Shh. We don't do spoilers.
But, this is the week to make that... Oh, no, you want your hand... I want my hands on Seth Rollins. I'm going to hold a wrench to Michael Cole's neck and until you give me... give me a chance at what should have been mine.
Yeah, because I like the idea of the briefcase. It should be considered like a title. It is something. It is a title.
I mean,
especially without the world heavyweight title around.
It's the next best thing.
It is. It's better than an IC title.
Unless the plan is for next month in the rematch, then it's for the briefcase.
But I think next month is going to be Survivor Series teams. Team Rollins versus Team
Because
Ambrose.
essentially Hell in a Cell should be the blow-off match.
Yeah.
Everything builds up to that.
And I know that Seth Rollins, Dean Ambrose is big enough to have for there to not be a briefcase, but it should just be. No, should just be bigger.
It would add. It just adds so much more to it because then it's Seth Rollins is walking around with that briefcase saying, "Oh, I'm going to cash it in. If you win Orton, I'm cashing in on you. I don't care who you are."
Yeah.
So and the Authority does not want. They didn't want John Cena to have the belt. They don't want Dean Ambrose anywhere near the belt. So they definitely don't want him near the briefcase. There's so many other layers that they could add into it that would just add. More. I mean, this feud is really good. I think the Rollins Ambrose.
I mean, I think they're gonna have match of the night.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I do.
Do you think it'll? Wait. Do you think it'll be the main event?
It should.
They're
be.
branding it as
No, but
they're branding it as a co-main event.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they're gonna be one.
No, that's not going to be. What I hope the big names are going to go on last.
Yeah. That annoys me.
I hope. Well, they should do like they did with the Elimination Chamber back when they had 2 matches. Is they open with a Hell in a Cell match and they close with one.
Yep.
They open with Cena Orton. Orton wins that, and then he has like problems with the Authority all night, and then he costs Rollins the match.
Yep.
That sounds great.
Yep.
Boom.
Look, you
Sometime
just,
tonight,
you just
then.
wrote it for them. Okay.
Spoiler alert.
Check in the mail, please.
So then let's get to the other Raw recap where we had Mrs. Foley, baby boy, coming back home to Raw. Mick Foley. I thought it was a great promo by Mick Foley.
Yeah.
I liked he was like, "Oh, I'm just here to see an old friend." I thought he was gonna say like, "Man, you really grew up a little bit," because it's a lot. I mean,
I missed
I
you,
feel like it's like
friend.
double the size when he fell off of it or was thrown off of it.
I mean, I like that line that he put where it said, typically I'd say Rollins, but now it's Hell in a Cell. It's a whole different element now. I mean, this is Ambrose's element. Yeah, I really like when Foley said that.
I like how he said pre-cell, post-cell, and you can look at his career and go, everything changed after that, and he became such a more endearing personality and character and wrestler instead of just the guy that likes pain. Like not just the infamous Jim Ross interview, but that was where everybody went, no, let him win sometime. That's why everybody switched from Nitro to Raw to watch him win the title, because they're like, that guy's gonna win, awesome.
Yeah. Steve, what do you think of the promo for Foley?
Oh, it's a great promo. Love Foley.
Gotcha.
Like Foley was one of my favorites growing up. It must be awesome to be Mick Foley, to just drop in like. Could you imagine like Monday Night Raw when Mick Foley started on Monday Night Raw was they taped 2 in one Monday. One was live, one was taped. Like there were actual metal guardrails, and now he steps out. It's this full HD stage. People are tweeting about it.
He's tweeting about it.
Instant reaction.
Speaking of Foley, though, I did like that not jab, but just comment by JBL when he was like, "That's as silly as expecting one guy to enter the Rumble 3 times and expecting 3 different paychecks."
Yeah.
He did not.
That was good. So let's get to the main event of main event.
Please.
Rollins versus Swagger. I'll go through this kind of really quick. You guys can say what you liked about the match, but Swagger started off taking the fight to Rollins. Rollins gets back in control. Rollins hits that cool. I don't know. There's no name for it, but it's kind of like a face neck breaker into the turnbuckle.
It's like a back
power.
STL.
Yeah. And then so Swagger starts making a comeback. It's clothesline. Goes to the Swagger bomb. Goes to the Patriot lock because Rollins gets his feet up. Rollins gets out. He does that cool flip, lands on his feet, but as he's flipping, Swagger catches him again, tries to put him in a Patriot lock. And then basically at the end, the Stooges start distracting Swagger because they're going after
Stooges.
Yes. And Rollins ends up kicking Swagger in the head, then hits a springboard, knee to the face, followed by the curb stomp. So Rollins gets the win, and Swagger goes home the loser. Poor Swagger.
They let down America again.
Yeah.
But Swagger looked great here against Mr. Money in the Bank.
Yep.
Seth Rollins looked incredibly beatable, which is what he should look like. Always. Because it's not that he's the best, it's that he'll win.
Because he's smart.
That he's smart.
And he's got the Authority on his side.
Yep.
Not to mention, if you had showed me, if I was in high school and you showed me a picture of Seth Rollins and said, "This is 2014," I'd have bought it. That looks like what me in 1999 would have thought we'd all look like in 2014. Just super futuristic, sleek, leather,
2-color hair.
beards.
Did you have a rating for this match?
4.5 out of 5. It was actually definitely match of the night.
Gotcha. Yeah, definitely was.
I thought it was a good match as well. I thought a lot of good back and forth, especially Swagger teasing the Patriot Lock and force Rollins with that. Man, I think that curb stomp is brutal at times, man.
Oh man,
like especially when it comes out of nowhere with that. Oh man, I don't know how to protect yourself from that. But yeah, I give it a 4 out of 5, but definitely match of the night.
Gotcha. Mark, what do you think?
I almost gave this a 5 out of 5 because this is a pay-per-view quality match for the exact reason you said. Rollins looked beatable. He shouldn't, but he did. It showed why Swagger was on top of his game. I give it a 4.8 because of the 2 times when I heard boot and duck. Swagger was a little bit too loud with some of his calls. That's okay. That's fine. That happens. But despite that, still beyond fantastic match. Really good falsies. All of the times that he went for the lock made it seem that much more like, oh, he's going to get him. I should have never thought that Rollins was going to lose this match, but I did. It's like, oh, why is Jack Swagger going to win before the pay-per-view? He needs to look strong. And then I went, oh, yeah, I'm an idiot. Of course he's going to win.
Also, this match reminds me of... Well, not exactly, but this match reminds me of, mainly because it was Tyler Black, who's not related to Seth Rollins at all.
I have no idea who that is.
It was probably like 2008. It was a National Guard Armory in Pennsylvania, where I'm from, and I went and saw a Ring of Honor pay-per-view taping. And at the beginning of the match, it was like a 6-man battle royal. The winner gets to face Nigel McGuinness for the title, which is like such a standard Carney. We don't know who we're going to put in the main event yet, and it doesn't matter. It's an amazing match, including El Generico, who never heard of him either.
No.
Yeah.
Sounds too bland.
Dude, that's Sami Zayn.
What?
I have no idea what you're
I don't know,
talking
man. I just figured that out the other day.
Really?
They were like in Montreal the other day, and they were training Olay.
I thought this was so they were football
I put
fans.
2 and 2 together. I don't know.
That's
Crazy. But Tyler Black wins and walks into a match with Nigel McGuinness, a monster heel. A match that Nigel McGuinness should win handedly. And they go, I'm not kidding when I say like 45 minutes.
Oh, I would love to
It
see
is
that.
on
I love
YouTube. I
Nigel.
will find a link for you.
Nigel's the man.
Such a good match, and I think it ties back together because Tyler Black looks a lot like Seth Rollins.
Could be brothers.
Clearly different people, though.
But yeah,
One of them has blonde hair. They can't be the same people.
yeah, I gave it a 4.0. I thought it was a really good match, really good main event. It made Swagger look strong, which is always good, I think,
And the way that they talked about him being a former world champion and him being a former Money in the Bank, like that's the thing. You have to come up with the stuff that has in the past that makes them worthy opponents, and he should have done that in the Big E and the Bo match.
Yeah. So we're almost done, but let's get into we'll do predictions for Hell in a Cell this weekend. Woo! So
AfterBuzz TV predictions.
So the pre-show is Usos versus Golden Stardust for the tag team titles. Who do you guys think?
Dust Brothers.
Usos.
If you think it's the Usos, you'll get 2-1 on your money over at pattypower.com. Golden Stardust are -300, which is 3-1 favorites. So I'm going to go Golden Stardust.
Gotcha. Yeah, I'm gonna say Golden Stardust retain. I'd like to see them feud with somebody new now. Hopefully, I mean,
Hopefully we
we'll
get.
see.
Hopefully maybe the Harper and Rowan.
Yeah. And then we have The Miz versus Sheamus for the U.S. title. Who do you guys think?
I'm going to give it to Sheamus.
Sheamus as well. He's -600 to Miz's +320.
Like that, I wouldn't suspect this non-build of a match, and like Sheamus.
And that's
We're
right.
getting cut off, so let's hurry.
Okay. I say Miz. Paige versus AJ.
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 I'm going to say Paige, just to be
Paige.
different, but
I say
she's not the
AJ.
favorite.
Big Show Rusev.
Rusev by DQ.
Okay.
Rusev by submission.
Gotcha. I say I'll say Rusev. Nikki versus Brie.
Rusev by submission.
Nikki.
Nikki. Okay.
Nikki.
Nikki.
Okay. Orton Cena.
I really hope it's Orton.
Me too. I say Orton.
Orton Brock would be a great matchup.
Sportsbook's got it at Cena. I'm going to say Cena.
Gotcha. I say Orton. Ambrose Rollins.
Ambrose.
Okay.
Rollins.
Ambrose.
I say Ambrose too. So Steve, where can the people find you?
You guys can find me at Steve Kaufmann. That's Kaufmann. My team, my Harry Potter improv team, will be performing at Kamikaze a week from this Friday. We are called The Show That Shall Not Be Named. Also, Thursday the 30th, I will be on an episode of Tim and Eric's Adventure Time on Adult Swim.
Nice.
Awesome.
Oh wow, you can find me at Twitter and Instagram at GHermoza, GHERMOZA. I even had my tweet retweeted by the man himself, Chris Jericho.
Awesome.
Made my day. Made my month, to be honest with you.
Nice.
Mark, where do they
You can
find
find me Twitter, Soapbox Mark, YouTube, Soapbox Car TV, where we do wrestling, comedy, and entertainment. Thursdays on NXT, Ruby, Epic Meal Empire, and what about you, Tom?
Gotcha. You guys can find me on Twitter at TomTheCom, and Tuesday nights 11 o'clock here, Supernatural, and every Wednesday night here for Main Event. And we'll see you guys next week.
Thank you.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.